I don't think there's going to be much of a fall foliage for color this year. It's just the leaves are already falling, and you can see the mountainside up there. It's not that great. Not that great this year. Not at all. Greetings everybody. Joseph, Green Mountain Gold Trap. For those of you who know the channel and have seen old videos of mine, we had a 50-50 gold rush is what the name of the video was called. And we dug out a trench starting right about here where this bedrock crop comes out and back almost to around the corner, and it was about out to here. We cleaned all that bedrock right down, and we got a lot of gold out of there. Now this is a pretty good inside bend right here. So I'm taking advantage of this high water flow. When I come by yesterday, it was really cranking. I mean, none of this was exposed. It was all underwater. All of this was underwater. I was kind of hoping it was a little bit higher, but it's still high enough. So I'm taking advantage of the high water flow, and I'm digging down in here. Back up a little bit. Digging down in here. I'm going to dig this area out. I've already started right in here. I'm going to just keep working my way in. And because all of us know gold is lazy, it's going to work in a straight path. So, inside Ben. A little shout out to Ben too. Great job yesterday. But this will kind of give you an idea of what I do. So anyway, I'm going to keep on running here. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say. I forget. But anyway, we'll see what we get. I got it running really good. Oh yeah, there was something I wanted to say. There are some people who, with the black ABS type, say that because black sand is so heavy that you need to do a clean out periodically, because once the trap fills up with black sand, you're not going to be able to capture any more gold. It's going to ride out. That's an assumption, and it's not true. These traps, the fluid bed design is designed to constantly exchange heavies for light, heavies for light. So as you're working throughout the day, it's kicking out the light material, but it's also kicking out some of those black sands. And I'm going to set this camera up, and you'll see how fast I run this thing. And you know, no classification. If I get bigger rocks on the shovel, I just let them go. I rinse them off and I chuck them aside. But you don't have to do a clean out. You just keep your eye. If you've got a clear trap, and you just keep your eye on things, and you know, you'll know if it's set up right. And you just keep on running until you want to do a clean out. I mean, I've run this thing all day long, for 8-9 hours, and didn't do a clean out. And I caught the gold. Small gold, flower gold, pixie dust. I catch it all, so it works really good. I'm very impressed with it. So let's set up and do some running. sand at the end of the day. I said it before, I can run up to 2 yards a day if I really try. Maybe even more. Point something out to you, and I don't care what design of fluid bed. Some of them call it a sluice. I do not call it a sluice. Legal definition of a sluice is something that has riffles on the skid plate, something that has a gate to control water flow, and something that is long. And the definition of long in the case of a sluice is hundreds of feet. So I ask you, what so-called sluice on the market is actually a sluice? But anyway, no matter what design you have, the thing about the black ABS is you can't see what's going on inside. Now, you get a rock caught up on there like that, look what it's doing inside the trap. It's blowing the material out. That's why I run it the way I do. So you can't just plop your material on and let stuff bottle up right there. You'll end up losing gold. And like I said, I don't care what design you're using, bazooka, gold trap, it doesn't matter. With the clear design, I've discovered things that you don't know until you can see what's going on. So I just wanted to point that out to you. So I'm going to keep running, I'm going to keep digging this out and see what I get. I noticed the further I get that way, the more black sands are concentrated on the skid plate as it goes down. So I'll keep running and show you the results. point out another big benefit of having a clear fluid bed. Now here it's fall, so what do you deal with? You're dealing with all these leaves coming down river. Well, I've got a leaf trapped inside of the scoop, partially in front of these two tubes right here. So in that case, you're forced to do a clean out. But the fact of the matter is, you can clearly see it. You can clearly see it. And I don't have to lift this out of the water to do a clean out, which means I don't have to rebuild anything here. Just simply do a clean out and I'm back up and running again. So I've got good fluidization. I mean, I can see that material in the trap just a rocking. But I'm not going to take any chances. Alright, again I want to shout out to Ben Finding Fun. I did a bunch of digging there and that leaf got caught in front of the tubes in the skid plate, so I did a clean out. And there was only what, maybe 4 or 5 colors after a bunch of digging. So then what you do is you want to move. Either go that side, like if you get 1 or 2 or 3, in this case 5 after a bunch of digging, say you do 2 or 3 pans and you only get 5 colors. So you move over and you see what you get with the same amount of pans, about a foot, and then keep going until you get the most. That's how you find the pay streak, or go this way. And then you'd move. If you want to find the actual pay streak where the gold's falling out in a run, and you keep testing across, counting your colors until you find the most in whichever hole had the most. Then you move and you do your testing until you find the most, and then you can find that pay streak. That's a lot of work. So I've come up here and I just dug this little hole right here, and I only maybe did about 10 shovelfuls. And I did a clean out and I got 10 colors. So now I'm going to move this way a little bit and do the same amount, do a clean out and check it. If there's less, then I'll go over here. So that's one way you find the pay streak. I mean, you want to look for evidence of high water flow inside bends. You want to look like around tree stumps and see stuff caught around it, like roots and branches and twigs. Then you know where the high water was. That's one way to read a river. And like I said, inside bends, behind boulders, behind debris in a river, behind, you know, just bedrock. Try to get down to bedrock. Like in this trench here, we got right down to bedrock and found some nice pockets, and we did really good here. But it's just a little more tip for you. And I see I've got 1 bar left for the battery, so I'm going to cut this short and keep on digging. Alright, as you can see, the trap is no longer there. That's because I'm giving up on this spot. I dug a big hole right here in between the 2 spots that I got color out of, and dug it right towards the trap, and I didn't really get a whole lot. So I'm going to go and do some panning at another spot. I don't know if I'll shoot any video because I want to go home with a little bit of gold. So this may be the last for the end, or for the day. So catch y'all later.